Alright, we have one new Pokemon here in the Slowpoke well, and, well, it's the man himself here, Slowpoke. Slowpoke, as its name implies, is very slow. It will more likely probably be the slowest thing you will have in the game up to this point. As you can see there, it has a split evolution, so you can evolve into either Slow Bro, which has good physical defense, or Slow King, which is good special defense. Both of which are still very slow, so pick your poison on that one. But Water Psychic is actually a pretty good combination. So if you can get around its speed, it's not too bad. Alright, first up here in the Ilex Forest, we have Oddish, which is our second Grass and Poison type. It can be found in all three versions, only at night, although if you want to find it, it's a little bit more common in Gold and Silver. It's actually a pretty decent it's a decent grass type, I have to admit. It's kind of slow, but I think it learns a lot more special moves than the Bellsprout line does. So, yeah, if I can find one, I'll pick one up. And it has a split evolution after it evolves into Gloom. But yeah, we'll have to see which one it'll evolve into. Alright, up next we have Parrots, which is a bug and grass type. This Pokemon is not really that good. It has a quad weakness of fire, since both bug and grass are weak to fire. I would not even recommend to pick this guy up, but if you were to pick one up, I would highly recommend you to pick one up as an HM slave, mainly because it can learn both Flash and Cut. So if you want it as an HM slave, have at it, but if you want it just as an actual team member, I really wouldn't entertain the thought of it, honestly. Up next is Venonat, which can only be found in Crystal, and only at night. It's a kind of decent Pokemon. It's pretty good, although even though it's a bug and poison type, as you can see there, it strangely learns a lot of psychic moves, which is kind of weird. It's a weird anomaly from Gen 1, but it's actually pretty decent. I actually kind of like it. The funny thing is that its evolved form can clearly fly, but it can still get hit by ground moves, which I always thought was kind of funny. But yeah, if you want a good, unique anomaly, yeah, go with this guy. And lastly, here we have Psyduck, which is everyone's favorite water type that is owned by Misty in the anime. The comic relief character. Psyduck is actually a pretty good water type, I do have to admit. It's a lot of water moves, some ice moves here and there, and maybe some psychic attacks here and there. It's actually pretty good. It can only be found in Crystal and only at night, but it has a 10% encounter. So it's kind of somewhat rare in here, but yeah, if you want a good water type, you didn't pick Totodile, or didn't want to go after Poliwag like I did, and it's a good choice. Alright, hatching from this egg, we get Togepi. No, I will not do its chirp in the anime. It is one of the very few Gen 2 Pokemon that was seen in the Gen 1 anime, outside of Ho-Oh. All Pokemon that are hatched from eggs in this game, and in the next game, are at level 5. So it's still kind of baggage at this point, but, it's kind of unique. This is the only way you can get one, other than, breeding more. So, it evolved through friendship, and friendship it's very, very complicated to explain. Alright, with Fisherman Ralph calling us on Route 32, he has told us that Quillfish has started to spawn in the area. Quillfish is a very decent water poison type. It learns a lot of weird attacks. The thing is with the swarms for this Pokemon is that you can catch it with any rod. With the old rod, good rod, and super rod. So if he calls you and you want one of these guys, you can pick one up this way. Kind of a weird Pokemon because, it's kind of weird, honestly. Alright, first up here on Route 34, we have everyone's favorite psychic type, Abra. Abra can only be encountered at level 10, which means that the only move it will have, at least for a little bit, is Teleport, so you really only have one chance to try to catch it. And it's still a good Pokemon, it's just kind of painfully annoying just to get it up to, level 16 where it can actually do something. If you want to get a fully evolved, you gotta trade it with someone, but I doubt anyone would want to trade with you in this day and age. So, yeah, if you have enough patience for it, go for it. Up next, we have Drowsy, which is also a Psychic-type Pokemon. It's kind of decent, I have to say, but it's more better at physical attacks, which is kind of weird. Knowing that its type is primarily for special attacks, but it's better in the physical combat instead of special combat, which is kind of weird. But it's kind of average and decent, I guess. So I mean, if you want a somewhat decent psychic type, I mean, it's not too bad of a choice. Although I don't know why you would. Up next is everyone's favorite blob, Ditto. Ditto is a normal type, as you can see there. It is primarily known for only knowing transform naturally, and it's its only attacking move, so it'll literally transform into anything that it goes up against in battle. It can also be used for breeding, which this is the route where breeding is kind of introduced, so that's kind of cool and convenient. One thing I do need to mention is that Ditto was once a failed clone of Mew, which is why it's able to transform into every single Pokemon in existence, which is kind of interesting. And last up we have Snubbull, which is a normal type. It can only be found in Crystal and only in the morning and the day, as you can see right there. Snubbull is kind of an interesting Pokemon, I'd have to say. Even though in today's modern game, times, it is a fairy type, but before Gen 6, it was a pure normal type. So, that's why it's going over as a normal type, because, fairy doesn't exist yet. It's decent, I guess. It's kind of annoying in the anime when that rich Snubbull kept following Ash and company, but, it's alright, I guess.